How's everybody doing?
How are you?
Ooh.
Caleb, you're a big routine guy. How do you find?
Yeah, this is before you even this is interesting for me. This being my first Thursday game, and it being such a large game, divisional game versus one of the best, if not the best team, so far this season, and like you said, routine wise is different. Having to get up and things like that on your Tuesday, which you normally are taking care of your body all day. Strictly mainly mental work and things like that on Tuesday for myself. And I would say I had a few mess ups today with some of the new plays and things like that, just because you don't have those kind of day and a half to go through all the small details that mean a lot that I always talk about. So yeah, definitely something that after this week and after this game that I know we have another one this year, and I know that we'll have a bunch more in the years to come. So definitely want to make sure that when this happens next time that I'm prepared for it. I know how to, and I know kind of what to expect. So there's a lot of newness for this week. There's a lot of information, but we're gonna tackle it. After around 3 today to tomorrow on the plane and things like that. To when I go to sleep is when I'll be studying and making sure that when we go out there, that we can go out there and perform, and I can go out there and perform.
What are you eliminating this weekend? How do you streamline so that you obviously can't get to all the boxes you normally check?
Yeah, you gotta try and get to as many as you can, and then you also there's a little less me time in the short weeks with the hours that you have and things like that. There's a little less me time, so you gotta focus on your sleep, recovery. Most important things, and especially in a week like this, is sleep. Sleep, hydration, and eating right and eating well to be able to recover after a tough game that we just had versus another divisional opponent, and then now we got to go up against these guys in a few days, and so like I said, those three things are the most important, and then having those three things and doing those three things well prepares you for this game and be able to go out there and perform.
How have you managed the peaks and the valleys? Because you a couple weeks ago, you guys were in the valleys, and you played better. You guys haven't had wins to show for, but the offense has been much better the last 2 weeks. How have you managed that?
Yeah, same thing I said. I believe it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. You just keep going. It's kind of how I've kind of grown up. Kind of how I've I guess you can say trained myself. And those tough times happen. They don't last forever. So you just keep going. You don't lose confidence, belief, or trust. You keep going. You keep fighting. And that's kind of how I go. It's kind of how the team goes.
You mentioned last week, I think, that the Green Bay game wasn't really necessarily a confidence boost because you've been confident all along.
Mm-hmm.
But are there some ways that you have felt more prepared, more ready the last couple games, just maybe because of the things you've seen at this stage now?
I definitely think time on task has helped. Through all the games, practices, and all the way back to the summer and spring and things like that. I think time on task has been extremely important. You can't ever beat that. Being able to have time on task, and so I think that has provided a sense of clarity, a sense of belief and things like that. I think the confidence thing that you spoke about, I think it stays, like I said, in the valleys and in the peaks and things like that. You maintain and keep going. And then when you come out of those valleys and you get those peaks, you obviously want to find ways to stay on and plateau instead of having those valleys and peaks. But I think all of that has come from time on task and being able to just be decisive and have an open communication with all the players and coaches and things like that. And from there we've grown.
But is there anything about playing well against a good defense like the Vikings that helps you as you go against another really good defense in the Lions, as Thomas Brown mentioned, playing with no fear like that?
No, I wouldn't say that it helps you. You know that you can go against them and battle with them toe to toe, even when you're down, 10, 10 points or more late in the game. You can battle with them, go toe to toe. But it's a totally different defense, totally different mindset of defense. Scheme players, where they're special. The Vikings may not be, or where Vikings are special, they may not be on defense, and so it's a different challenge. And we, like I said, before we look at those, and we want to walk straight into those challenges because they only make us better.
You
Thomas
talked,
said-
you talked last week about Brian Flores and you clearly had studied in advance of facing him. Did you feel like you passed the test? Did you feel like you were out there and you knew what you were looking for and you were able to keep up with what he was doing?
I think they caught us a few times, but I think we also caught them a few times. I think with a DC like that, I think that's how the game is normally going to be. If you get hit, get back up, and throw the next punch. The next time just throw the punch first. And so, um, you know, um, with that, I wouldn't say that I passed or failed. We lost. I didn't do enough at the end. At the end of that game, to be able to help the team win. But the good thing is we got another opportunity to go against a very good team with Detroit, and they got guys over there that make plays. They got two guys on the back end of their defense. Those safeties and things like that. They're ball hawks, and you got to make sure that you watch out for them. I know they got a few guys down, but they're still very talented defense, very mature, very they've been playing together for a good amount of time now. So I think they're a well knit group, and we got to face the challenge head on.
How has the
I'll-
connection that you've made with Thomas and the way that he's able to connect with you and communicate to you help you on a short week like this, especially when you've gone through this losing streak?
Yeah, I think our connection and my playing ability and his coaching, I think so far is connected pretty well. We kind of I think he's done a great job kind of understanding me, even though we haven't had many talks in the past and things like that, many opportunities to do something like that. So I think he's done a good job understanding me and the players that we have on this team. And I think that's going to keep growing. I think I think us going into this week facing this challenge is going to be another testament to that.
Would it have helped you to work with? Would it have helped you to work with Thomas from the jump? Would that-
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, not having somebody jump in halfway through the season, and you get a better opportunity to understand them, build a relationship with them, talk to them more, be around them and their families, a lot more and things like that. So, it would have helped, but that's not the situation. We're this is week 3 with Thomas, week 3 with Thomas, I believe, and us going out there and performing, and performing well helps our relationship, and us having the open communication that we have during the games, in the on the practice field and in the rooms, is only building that.
Can I follow up on that? What I mean specifically is, do you think that would have helped you in your career and in getting your career started? Would that have helped you play better, understand things better if Thomas had been your offensive coordinator from the start?
I wouldn't say that. I just say that I think us having an understanding of our players and how to connect with them, how to get them in the best positions possible, I think would have helped all of us overall on the offensive side, and being able to have these efficient games that we've been having so far on offense these past couple of weeks. And I think if we were able to do that a little sooner, and get that going a little sooner, I think it would have helped all of us. I think it would have helped, and not just talking about us on offense, but helping overall the defense, special teams, everybody being able to play a little bit better complementary football. Like I said, that wasn't a situation that we were in. We're in this situation now, and being able to attack this face on, head on, is the most important thing, and being able to go out here and find ways to beat teams, and help the defense, help the special teams, so we can all come together and go to the locker room and celebrate. Awesome. The Bears.